Hi, everybody. I just wanted to be able to talk today about. I know the lighting's not great, but it's not really so much me you're looking at. I want you to look at the picture. um, First thing before I start, just to make a little note is I know that a lot of people buy my book and they'll ask me often, what does this belief mean or whatever. I want to make sure that people that are purchasing my book and working with clients or with themselves know that change these beliefs to fit your wording or your client's wording. They're so much easier to work with when they're words that they would say, how they would phrase it, or how you would phrase it. And so just keep that in mind. Now, I wanted to talk today about why the book is organized according to the chakras and what that means when you find those beliefs in that specific chakra. So I've got my cute little picture here. I found it online. You can see the website. So I don't own this picture. I just thought it was a really great representation. And just clearly shows us where those chakras are. So some kind of a little bit of background. We don't have to know a lot about the chakras to work with the beliefs, and some of you may already know this and you don't need to watch the video. But for those people who really don't know anything about them, this is for them. So the very bottom chakra and the very top chakra are different than the rest, than the 5 center ones. They are ones that go up and down through our bodies. So the root chakra, when you talk about people, I don't feel rooted, I'm not grounded, that has to do with the root chakra. And I'll tell you more about that. And it goes straight down into the ground. And then the crown chakra sits on the very top of the scalp, up here on the head, and it goes up, and it's a connection to the divine. So to heaven. So we're kind of, living between the earth and heaven, and we're these, we live in this kind of half state because we're spirit and we're physical, like heaven and earth. So the other 5 chakras go back and forth in the body, back to front or front to back. And these are energy. I'm not going to get really deep into it, but it's energy that moves through our body. And when they each govern something different within us, and when they're not flowing properly, then the energy doesn't flow properly in our body. We have blockages and we have difficulty dealing with the things that these chakras govern. So let's start at the beginning. It's the root chakra. So down there at the bottom, it's the very first chakra that starts to really become active when a baby is born, because it's all about security and survival. It's all about, relating to being here on the earth. And so when we have beliefs that are found in this chakra, they all have to do with life and death. Literally, like that's what these beliefs will mean to people. So let's take this belief right here. I am afraid to feel certain emotions. If someone is afraid to feel certain emotions and it's found in the root chakra, that means they literally, like, if I feel angry, I feel like I'm going to die. If I feel happy, I feel like I'm going to die. It doesn't matter, for them personally, whatever emotion it is, if it's found in that chakra, that's how scary it is for them to feel it, because it has to do with their security and survival. So let's jump up next to the sacral chakra. That one governs the creativity and sexuality. And so creativity is all about being able to start to manifest, to create here on earth, to use our imaginations and to start to try to put that into reality. And so if you find a belief here, my needs are not being met. Let's say that's the negative belief. My needs are not being met. That could mean they either aren't being met sexually, or that could mean they're not being met creatively. So I can't create because whatever. It's probably related to another negative belief about their needs. And so so any beliefs that you find in the sacral chakra, they're going to be governed by that idea of my needs are not being met. Now, if you found that belief in the root chakra, my needs are not being met, that means they actually feel like they can't survive. I'm not getting the food that I need. I'm not getting the love or attention that I need, or, where it could be completely different in the sacral chakra. So moving up to the next one is the solar plexus. The solar plexus has to do with self-worth and emotions. And so let's pick a different belief for that one. I can't relate to others' pain or suffering. So I would ask, if I was working with a client, I would be curious about how they felt that related to them in real life. And let's just say maybe they feel like, I can't relate to others' pain because it's too, it makes me too emotional. I can't tolerate it, so I shut myself up from it, and I can't connect to their pain. And so you could see how in times of maybe grief with another person, that person would feel horrible and not be able to tolerate supporting someone else in their pain. And so that would be a blockage in that, how that chakra is able to work. And I'll just pause here for a second. I know I hear some people saying that the belief is stuck in the actual chakra, which is totally possible. But that's not the case. I mean, it's possible, like I said, but it's not generally the case. Beliefs can be stuck anywhere within the body, but they're organized because I want I want people to connect the belief with what that chakra governs, if that makes sense. And each chakra is actually, they're related to different organs in the body. And so you might find that those chakras tend to have beliefs that are stuck in those organs that are related. You'll just have to experiment if that's something that you want to see is true. But they are not necessarily stuck directly in the chakra. So heart chakra, that one's kind of obvious. It's all about love and relationships. And so you're going to find a lot of negative beliefs there that have to do with broken relationships or relationships that weren't what people had hoped for. A lot of I'm not good enough or I'm not lovable, those types of things that will impede them in their relationships with others or feeling love themselves. Okay, so the throat chakra I just love this one. It's just so interesting to me. It is all about communication and expression. And it's actually quite a bit related to the sacral chakra, which has to do with manifesting. So you create a lot imaginatively in our minds, and then the throat chakra is bringing that into reality. Voicing it, creating it. So think about not just actual word expression, but how are we being blocked from expressing our creativity or manifesting what we want, or having the relationships that we want to be able to express ourselves. So all of that is with the throat chakra. So think about it in those terms when you find beliefs there. The third eye chakra is right here in the center of the forehead, and it governs intuition and comprehension. And so when you find these beliefs, they are going to kind of tend to be more, I don't know how to, other than to kind of show more out here, a greater understanding, and kind of taking this knowledge and creating it into wisdom and into reality here on the earth. And then the next one is the crown chakra, and that has to do with the spiritual connection to the divine. And so one of my kids is trying to get in. I don't know if you guys can hear that. They're turning the door handle as I locked it. Please, I'll be out in just a minute. So spiritual connection to the divine. So I believe in God. I believe in Jesus Christ. And so for me, this is how, when I pray and when I feel like I receive answers to my prayers, it's coming through this conduit, through this crown chakra, to communicate with my spirit. And other people may not have this belief system. And so that the crown chakra may represent, again, they're very connected, the crown chakra and the third eye, because you're taking in this information and then it's being interpreted by the third eye. And so they may just feel like this information's coming from the universe, from the greater wisdom of, the world, whatever. But this crown chakra relates to that divinity of who we can be as incredible, loving, whole people in the best sense of ourselves. So when the crown chakra is interesting because a lot of people suffer trauma, and especially those who have religious or spiritual upbringings, they believe in a just world. They want to believe in a just world, that we should be protected. Good things happen to good people and bad things happen to bad people. And so when bad things happen and trials come, sometimes people's faith, it becomes tried, and they can acquire beliefs that God didn't protect me, or why isn't God helping me in this, and so those beliefs can start to make it harder to have a relationship with God and have that energy flow like it should be, because of traumatic events. And so those types of things can be found there in that crown chakra, with negative beliefs that can inhibit and make it more difficult to have that relationship to the divine. So I think that's everything. One last thing is, this is kind of a fun, I loved doing this. I did this for my classes when I taught classes, is if you buy the PDF and then you want to take, you can't print the pages front to back, but on this one, if you print out the pages singly and then you pick the colors that you want them on, you can do the colors of the chakras, and then it's even easier and quicker to be able to find the beliefs according to the colors. So anyway, just something fun. Thanks so much for listening. Really appreciate you guys and all the just positive feedback that I get for how much this helps you. And we'll talk to you later.